Hi everyone, it's Lonnie. Welcome back, or welcome to Grace Blossoms for You. So I bought these stamps from Amazon, and they're Filmstrip stamps. And since we don't really see them these days anymore, I thought they would be nice if I could use them for clusters. So I had the brilliant idea to put them on acetate to make them look like actual film strips. But then, for another project, I got these self-adhesive laminating sheets. Sorry for the crinkling. Yeah, so I got these for another project, and then I thought, hey, because it's got the adhesive on it and it's shiny, these would make great stickers. And so that would solve the problem of how to attach these to pages, because they would be like a sticker. So I decided that's what I want to do today. So it's the laminating part is on one side, and then it has this backing. And so I'm going to consider this a retro project. And you can see the hashtag below for the details. So I'm going to use some of these bigger pieces, and I'll probably use different ones. I wish this curved one would be bigger, but it isn't. And too, I might try this one, and I might try the medium ones. I don't want the ones that have the black in the center for this project. I'll try those. So yeah, I was thinking of making clusters with these. And so we will see how this turns out. So I'm going to use my StazOn for this project. And I've been using my lid from my StazOn for the thing to put the stamp on. But I might not do that right now. I'm going to start with this one. Hopefully it's all on frame there. I should find my see-through one. Hang on. Okay, I found one. These are not the straightest things, but it'll hopefully do in a pinch here. And it's very slippery, so I have to be very careful. So my idea is to just make a little bit of a line of them. They dry fairly quickly, which is good. Alright, so it's a little bit crooked, but hopefully that won't matter too much. Alright, I'm going to try a different one as well. Maybe this one, it's a little bigger. So the idea will be to cut these out. This one might be the best. Seems not to be as slippery. Okay, I do like that one. And then I'll try this one. It might be the new ones that are slipperier. I just thought of that. That's a little dark. I'll try this one yet. Yeah, so how are you guys doing today? While we were out today, we counted 23 bunny rabbits, live ones, all over the place. That's the most we've seen since we've been delivering papers. So that was our excitement for the day. Alright, so now that I've tried most of them, I think this one here is going to be my favorite. But I'll try this one yet. Two, I'm going to have to think of what I want to put with these. I was thinking of cutouts of people, but I don't know if I have a lot, but I'll have a look. So 3 of these equals roughly 2 of these bigger ones. I'm just going to do one that's a bit bigger. I think I like the 4. Okay, I'm going to do a few more of these. Yeah, some of them stick and some of them slide on the laminating paper here, self-laminating. And I don't really want to waste any, so maybe I'll do just a couple of these really skinny ones. I could have done them closer together and then I would have had room for quite a few more. That's my first time using them, so too, if I put them right next to each other, I might be able to cut them where I want to. Okay, so now I should be able to cut them out. Okay, they are smudging a little bit, and they shouldn't be because I specifically used my StazOn, because you're supposed to be able to do plastic surfaces. So I'm gonna just maybe let most of them dry. Okay, they just take a little longer than thought they would. Okay, we'll start with these. So we need somewhere to put them, and I was thinking I have these, I made these bags a while back out of packing paper, and I like to use them, but when it comes to using them, I never know how to decorate them. So I thought it would be nice if we made some ahead. So these are basically made like coin envelopes, and I made some out of book page. And so I'm going to try and do some of these today. I think I'll start actually with the book page because it's a little smaller and it might not be so scary. I'll start with this one because it looks like it's been inked, which is nice. Alright, so then first of all, I need to pick one of these. I think that will be a nice one. And while it is going to be see-through, I still want to make the frames kind of small. Just so that there's not too much shininess going on. So something like that. The usual problem of peeling. Okay. Then I'm gonna stick that right about there. Okay. And then I need something to build my cluster on. Or I need something to build my cluster with. Let me see what I have in my fussy cuts. There's an old guy. By old, I mean a long time ago. It wouldn't have to be a person. I spent a lot of time cutting that guy out, but even the bird would look nice. There's a lady. I think she would look better, and I think he would look better on the craft one. Craft paper. Let's just try it. This impression came out a little darker as well, so that should help. Is there an easy way to get this off? So it says this adhesive is strong, so I'm hoping just the adhesive itself would be enough. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. She's quite on white paper here, so I would have to ink her up a little, I think. She's very pale. Something like that. Yeah, I like her better than I like the guy, but we'll see. His turn might come yet, because like I said, I don't have a lot of people, but I do like that because if you watched films, then you watched people for the most part, right? Okay, so then what else? Maybe a phrase. Could maybe use some of my snippet roll here as a bit of a backdrop. And then, okay, I just pulled out some words. Thinking of you. Wishes, peace, love, days of the week. How about this one? It says photo. I backed some of these onto a chipboard from a food box. However, they don't stick very well unless you rough them up, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of scratching here. Should have the word cheese because she needs to smile. Maybe that doesn't look so great there. And that is it needs a background of something. Got some jelly print paper scraps hanging around. If I put that there and then put photo on top, I think that would work. Alright, that's my plan. I'm just gonna ink this. So I'm gonna put her, it might be difficult to stick something onto the flimsy or shiny laminating paper. I'll have to see how that goes. But, oh, the back of it was a misprint, so. Penny from Penny's Crafty Creations introduced me to another open collab, so this is my first one doing that. The prompts for May were retro or collage. I'm pretty sure the choice was to do either one. So this is sort of retro, my interpretation of retro. There, now that is pretty much ready to go onto a page. And, well, I guess I decorated the wrong side because, well, you know what I'm going to do? Since I kind of messed up there. I'm going to turn this to the inside. It's still a bag. It's kind of square. I might put a notch in it. Things are falling all over. It's pretty flimsy. So yeah, I was originally going to do those stickers on acetate, but then I realized I had the same problem of how to stick it to stuff. This looks like it's actually working. I've got the Barely Arts glue here, and it actually looks like it's sticking, so that's a bonus. Alright, so there's one. Now let's go back to the book page one here. I think I'm going to try and find a darker picture, and maybe it won't be a person this time. Okay, I like this one. Not that one. It's dark. It looks a little antique-y maybe. And too, I was thinking of drawing film strips before I got the stamps. I just thought I could do more if I actually had a stamp. Something like that. Thinking of you. You know, sometimes, maybe I'm the only one, but sometimes when I put on perfume for a special occasion or something, I might think of the person that I'm going to be seeing. And in the case of when I was dating, it would have been my significant other. So I would have put perfume on that person would have liked. So I think that's gonna be this page right here. I like using perfume bottles for clusters. I'm not a big perfume user, but I used to be. I still wear scents, but I'm more into essential oils these days. The stuff I buy at the store all smells so chemically now to me, so I'm trying to stick with the essential oils. Lavender, even rose. I like some of the mixes. Okay, there's that. So that's 2. How many should we make? 1, 2. I think this is a little bit large. I might have to make some smaller ones. So now I have this man sitting here. He is way too light for that page. And again, it's a wide one. Well, I could take a wide one and make it narrower. In fact, we folded this in half. There could still be a pocket there. And then we could put something over here. Let's see. How about this one? Sometimes figuring these things out is the most fun of all. And then other times I just want to do. I am planning to make a journal for a young man who just is graduating. And so I'm trying to collect some things that mean things to him. It's a departure for me because generally I stick with faith-based crafting, or crafting that I can add faith-based things to. And not sure if this young man is a believer, so I kind of stuck a little bit as to what I will be putting in his journal. I think some of this is actually rubbing off, so I have to be careful. I'll try and put the guy right on top of the... Yeah, so this young man likes dinosaurs, and he does have a favorite vehicle, which gets a little tricky. And I don't really want to buy a car magazine just for one journal. So I've been trying to see if I could maybe get a drawing of it somewhere online. Okay, so this one is gonna, maybe this could go in the gentleman's journal. I don't know if retro is necessarily his style. I kind of doubt it is, but sometimes we just introduce people to things, and it's possible they could start to like stuff just because we introduced them. So be careful what you introduce to people, I guess. I did kind of get the glue out a little. Alright, so gentleman has a hat, and none of these words look like they would be great. How about the word true? Because it reminds me of the word truth. I'll keep this one fairly simple because it's a man. From what I've seen, men are, well, at least the men I know are a little more low maintenance and they don't like all the frilly stuff. So I'm going to put that there. And then I could still make, well, I could make a double pocket out of this. In fact, I think that's a good idea because if it's going into a guy's journal, they're not the most delicate either, so I'm going to glue this shut. That's one thing I do like about most projects is they lend themselves to become something else. So then, what I would do is I'm going to ink this all around. I haven't made his journal yet, so I can't really put it in there yet, but what I will do then is make a pocket. So it could be a floating pocket, but what I'm going to do is close this part. Glue that down. And then when I go to put it on a page, I will put it like so. Say this is my journal page. I'll put him in there like so, and then I will glue him down on the 3 sides, and then it can be actually a double pocket. So that'll be cool. I like that. Will not be a white page because white's giving me a headache today. Alright, so then that's 3 that we've made, and I think you get the idea. So tell me what you think. Will you do anything like this? What else would work? Maybe film strips aren't the only idea that could work like this. I know, probably any stamp could work. Anyways, I'm gonna make this the end. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.